Hi, I'm Nicoletta. I'm 15 years old.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm 16 years old.
Hi, my name is Justin Mincy. I'm 16 years old, and I got to check out Here Lies Love on Broadway. Here Lies Love tells the story of a young woman, Imelda Marcos, who is introduced to power through her love, Nino Aquino. After their breakup, she is deepened into power with her new love, Ferdinand Marcos. Now, as being an engaged woman, she's also become the First Lady and has to juggle her past, but also her new reality of being in the public eye.
The biggest takeaway I took from this musical is a really big sense of pride, because I am half Filipino, and just to be able to see this sort of representation from an all-Filipino cast, it really made me feel prideful in my country and where I came from. I also had never realized how little I know about my own history, and this made me want to learn so much more about where I came from.
I've seen a lot of fantastic musicals on Broadway, but this one was completely unique. Live theater is always such a human experience, and I feel like that aspect was especially prominent in this show because it was so immersive, and I really felt like I was connected to the cast and my fellow audience members.
The theater was arranged like a thrust stage or even like a theater in the round, so that audiences will be able to enjoy the show from different point of views, whether they were sitting or even standing.
The thing that made the show stand out was definitely the 360 staging, as well as how interactive the show was with the audience. There were a lot of moments where they tell the audience to stand up and dance and move around, especially on the floor. And there were moments where the cast would come into the audience, and it was a song where they'd be interacting and they would shake people's hands, and it was just really cool to really watch and experience.
My favorite song in the show was the final song, God Draw Straight. And let me just say, first of all, every single song in this musical was so memorable and catchy and great. And this was my favorite because it made me weep, which I really did not expect during an otherwise fun and joyful show, but it was really impactful.
My favorite song in Here Lies Love was the title song, Here Lies Love. It's heard first earlier in the show and then later at the end. It's the closing number and everyone's singing to it and they're encouraged to sing to it. And I feel like that tune is just very catchy and it really lives up to the theme by the end of the show. It makes everyone really feel happy and this sense of love in the theater.
I did have a favorite song, but I can't say that because I had multiple favorites that I had to write it down. So, my favorite songs were Here Lies Love, Child of the Philippines, Order 1081, Gate 37, Just Ask the Flowers, and God Draws Straight.
I was on the floor and it was a very cool experience like no other show I've ever seen before. I even got to shake Imelda Marcos' hand during a song, which was amazing, and I love how interactive this show is. The audience is super involved and we were all dancing the entire time, so the energy was just through the roof.
Me personally, I wasn't on the floor, I was actually in the mezzanine, and I still really enjoyed it because a lot of times the actors would be dancing or doing a scene right in front of us, or even walking up and down the stairs and interacting with the audience members. So regardless of where you're sitting, you really get that close-up experience and you feel like you're part of the show too.
I think other teenagers would have an amazing time at Here Lies Love, and not just because it's like a dance party and the music is phenomenal. I kept thinking, what a perfect show for a time when there is so much political unrest and violence in the world and young people are feeling afraid and angry. It's a show that's catchy while also being very relevant.
I think other teenagers would enjoy Here Lies Love for the effort that it puts in, from the technology to the lights to the sounds and music. It definitely is very engaging of a show, and I think everyone should go see it if they have the chance to.
I do think other teenagers would enjoy Here Lies Love. It's overall a very mature show, and I went in barely knowing anything about this musical, and I still came out loving it. I cried, I danced, and it was the most fun I've had watching a show in such a long time. I still feel like even if you didn't know anything about what the show is about, you could still come in watching it and just listen to the amazing music, how talented these actors are, and the amount of work, effort, and love that gets put into this production every single night.
Here Lies Love is running on Broadway at the Broadway Theatre.
Check back later for more from BroadwayWorld's Teen Critics.